It is no secret that the housing market has been absolutely on fire this year. And while there's a number of reasons for that, one of them is the fact that renters have been moving out of rentals and buying homes. So the homeownership rate has been going up for the past few years, driven by rising rents and low mortgage rates. So it raises the question, should I continue renting or is now the time to buy? Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty. And, the honest answer to that question really depends on your current situation and your future plans. It's a very personal decision that needs to be made, and there isn't any one right answer for everyone. So, in this video today, I just want to spend a few minutes and cover six of the main items of consideration to help you make that decision for yourself. So, jumping right in here, number one, rents will continue to rise. So, I just mentioned a moment ago that many renters have gotten into homes because of the fact that rents have been rising. In fact, if you look at a graph showing what rents have done since 1988, it kind of looks like a profile photo of Mount Everest, to be honest with you. It's an astronomical jump in how much rents have risen. And there's no indication that they're going to slow down. They continue to rise. So, with that in mind, buying a home, having a mortgage, on the other hand, allows you for some stability. When you get a mortgage and assuming you've got a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, your payment's set. That payment isn't going to change unless you refinance again at a later date. So you're able to get some certainty into where your payment is going to be over the long haul. So it creates some predictability, and that is advantageous for a lot of current renters out there. Number two, the reason that we hear from renters is the freedom to customize. It's a big decision point for many people after living in a rental for a while. Some of them get to the point where they just want to make some changes. They want to personalize it more than just the furniture. They want their choice of flooring, their choice of carpet, which I guess is flooring, their color walls. They want to be able to do all of those different things, renovate, change cabinets, change counters. And they can't do that, obviously, in the rental property. It's always up to the landlord on when those things are done. And when a landlord does come in and replace those items, the typical mentality of the landlord is they're not going top level. They're going to put basic flooring in with the idea that it is going to be damaged over time and they're going to have to replace it again. Number three, privacy. This one was one I hadn't really thought of as much until I'd spoken to some renters not that long ago. And especially with what we've been dealing with the pandemic, they didn't like the fact that the landlord could schedule and make inspections for whenever they really wanted to. It's not that they're able to do that all the time. I understand that, but many landlords have it built into the lease that they can do, a complete inspection every quarter, or they're allowed to get in there at different times to check on different things. Maybe there's an emergency of some sort. So that unnerved a few people, especially in the interests of safety and health with the pandemic that's been going on. So owning your own home eliminates all of that. Is that an overly compelling reason? Probably not. It wouldn't be for me, but it is one that impacts many. So it's something to keep in mind. Number four, this is probably a plus for renting, to be honest, and that's the flexibility for relocation. And that really depends on your situation and what your future plans are. Obviously, if you're renting, assuming you're not stuck in a long term lease, because if you're 3 months into a 1 year lease and you suddenly realize that you're being relocated, it's not really much of a difference. You've got to work with that landlord in order to try and break that lease. So you may not have as much flexibility there as you think you do. Whereas on the flip side, if you own your home, you still have to get out of it, but there is a little bit of flexibility there, given the fact that under the market conditions currently, you could put that house on the market and be sold within 30 days, virtually anywhere in the country. So you can do that very quick and you will have built up equity at the exact same time. Now, granted, if the market was a little bit slower, it may take longer to sell, but that's really not going to be much of a different situation than if you were in a rental that you couldn't get out of. But there's some pros and cons there both ways, and it really depends on which situation you prefer for you. Number 5 is the building equity. By and large, when you're renting a place, the idea is that you're not locked into a mortgage, but what many renters don't realize is you actually are paying the mortgage. It's either yours or your landlord's for the most part. Yes, some landlords own their properties free and clear, but a lot of them are financed. So you're actually building long-term wealth and equity for your landlord. Whereas if you own the home yourself, all of those monthly payments are going directly into increasing your net worth. There's a lot of studies that have been done that show over the course of 10 years how much higher the net worth is for people that own a home rather than those that rent. Obviously, it makes sense. It's savings that you're going to be able to use in the future toward, it could be a nest egg towards sending kids to college or starting a new business or trading up to a larger home even. So there's several different aspects there in order to consider. And number 6, the other reason that people look at potentially buying a home is tax advantages. Yes, there's been some changes to the tax laws on what can and cannot be deducted, but by and large, there are tax benefits to owning a home. Your mortgage interest and your property taxes are deductible depending upon your tax bracket, depends on how much you can deduct. And as you know, if you're paying rent, that option isn't even on the table. So again, nothing major here, but just 6 areas to consider that you may not have thought of before. And they're the most common ones that come up in any time we are speaking with a current renter who's considering buying. The other questions that come up with people is I don't have the down payment that I need, or my credit score isn't good enough. And if you're one of those, I would highly encourage you to have a conversation with a lender to see how close you are to being pre approved for a mortgage. One of the biggest misconceptions out there is that in order to buy, you have to put 20% down, and you don't. FHA requires 3.5% down. There are some conventional programs that allow you to put 3% or even 5% down, depending on the area in which you're looking. There are also down payment assistance programs and grants that can assist you in getting into a home. So it can be a lot less money out of pocket than you actually think it is. And that comes as a surprise to many renters. Also, mortgage or qualifying credit score. Many think that you need to have perfect credit. To be honest with you, you don't. There are plenty of loans out there where the beginning credit score to qualify, they can even be in the high 500s, definitely the low 600s. If you're above 620, you're going to be good to go in most areas. So again, if it's something that you've been considering but aren't quite sure, please feel free to reach out. I mean, I'd be happy to schedule the time to talk to you. I've got a calendar link right below this video. No cost, no obligation. Just talk it through and share some ideas to see if it's the right thing for you. And or I'd encourage you to speak to a lender and just say it's something that you've been thinking about, but you're not sure if you qualify, and they can help walk you through the steps. And if you don't qualify currently, they can help you put together a plan so that you do qualify in the near future. So hopefully this has been helpful in sharing some ideas on comparing that rent versus buy, as I know it's on a lot of people's minds. And again, hopefully you get some valuable information from that and reach out with any questions at all.